Gordon Douglas got his start in Hollywood as a child actor and a gopher for producer Hal Roach, appearing in a few Our Gang comedies before moving behind the camera to produce one and two reel comedies for Roach in the 1930s. Like his future A-list colleagues Anthony Mann and Richard Fleischer, Douglas learned to direct features in the B unit at RKO, before producer Edward Small tapped him to direct 1947's The Black Arrow and Walk a Crooked Mile as part of a distribution deal Small had with Columbia Pictures. There was no looking back for Douglas, who soon settled in at Warner Brothers and quickly established himself as a director comfortable in any genre, from Jimmy Cagney gangster sagas like Kiss Tomorrow, Goodbye, to sci-fi classic Them, to the musical Young at Heart, starring Doris Day and Frank Sinatra. In fact, Douglas made 5 pictures with Sinatra, more than any other director, including several late 60s neo-noirs, Tony Rome, The Detective, and Lady in Cement. Coincidentally, Douglas was the director of the infamous 1951 film I Was a Communist for the FBI, starring Frank Lovejoy as an agent infiltrating a labor union suspected of being infested with communists. The fictionalized story was inexplicably nominated that year for an Oscar as Best Documentary. Screenwriter George Bruce did a nice job with this picture, lightening the required flag waving with some lighter touches and developing a bit of a bromance between O'Keeffe's G-Man and the Scotland Yard agent played by Lewis Hayward. Bruce was an accomplished pilot who, during the 1930s, became a writer of aviation stories for pulp magazines. His tales were so popular he got his name above the title on books such as George Bruce's Aces and George Bruce's Sky Fighters. There was even a 1932 radio show, George Bruce's Air Stories of the World War. In 1937, MGM made a film version of his novel Navy Blue and Gold, starring James Stewart and Robert Young. Bruce wrote the screenplay, and soon he formed a long-standing collaboration with producer Eddie Small, writing pictures that included The Man in the Iron Mask, Kit Carson, and The Son of Monte Cristo. In all, Bruce wrote 15 screenplays for Eddie Small Productions, including the noir favorite Kansas City Confidential. But don't believe for a minute that Bruce wrote all of Dennis O'Keeffe's dialogue. The actor was writing screenplays even before he became a performer, and under the pseudonym Jonathan Ricks, he contributed to several noir films, including T-Men and the overlooked 1948 gem Cover Up. In 1954, O'Keeffe wrote and directed a pair of films, Angela, made on location in Italy, and The Diamond Wizard, in which a Treasury agent, played by O'Keeffe, teams up with a Scotland Yard inspector to bust a ring of crooks forging diamonds from sugar. Now, as for Walk a Crooked Mile's co-star, Lewis Hayward, the South Africa-born actor had come to prominence in England as a protege of Noel Coward's, and after moving to Hollywood in the 30s, marriage to Ida Lupino raised his profile even higher. But his acting career was put on hold when he joined the Marines in World War II, serving in the Photographic Corps in the South Pacific. Well, documenting some of the most brutal battles of the war left him shell-shocked, and after coming home, his marriage to Lupino fell apart. Before the war, he'd made a number of pictures for Eddie Small, and the producer helped Hayward overcome his trauma and return to the screen, casting him mainly in swashbuckling adventures such as The Return of Monte Cristo, The Black Arrow, and The Fortunes of Captain Blood, the latter two directed by Gordon Douglas. Well, that's enough commie hunting for this week. Next week, Noir Alley returns with a Fritz Lang rarity that is as timely today as when it was released in 1953. Ann Baxter finds herself behind the 8 ball when she defends herself from a date rape in The Blue Gardenia. Raymond Burr will be back again, more avuncular and clean-shaven, but no less menacing. Now, if that's not enough to pique your interest, you also get Richard Conte, Ann Sothern, Dick Erdman, and a special appearance by Nat King Cole, crooning the title tune. To bide your time till next week, be sure to visit the Noir Alley Facebook page and Twitter feed. Till then, see you in the shadows.